Okay, so the title of this segment is HP41 in 2025. So what I wanted to show you was some recent-ish pieces of hardware and some thoughts and some ideas and some connectivity that you may not be aware of. Okay, so I'm going to start off with what I have here. For those who've seen them before, I've got an HP video interface. This is actually an American one. It's so it's sending out some weird American signal, I think. NTSC. But it connects to HPIL into my 41, and you'll notice up here that if I do this, I've somehow managed to get that to connect to HDMI.
Amazing.
Which, unbelievably, is incredibly easy. So you take the monitor output of this. You can see I've got a lot of cables on the desk here. You feed that into a 3-input RCA, so stereo and video, composite video, in this side. It's powered off USB. You can pick 720p or 1080p. And out of the far side comes HDMI, which means that I can show my kids in my computer history class an HP41 on a projector, whereas nowadays you would struggle to find a modern television, I think, wouldn't you, with an RCA input. You could do that into a SCART, but even SCARTs are disappearing at a rate of knots. So that £8.99 from Amazon for that to convert from your 1980s HPIL TV monitor interface to HDMI, which is quite cool, isn't it? So if you have one of those boxes, a modest layout, and you're on a winner. And as you can see, it's pretty stable, isn't it? It's not bad.
No, it's very useful.
Very usable. Right, the next. Yeah. Surprising, really, isn't it? You can then do some other cool things. So this thing here is, believe it or not, a USB-C to HDMI capture card. Yeah. So if I plug an HDMI cable into that and plug the HDMI out of the projector, then you can plug that into my computer. And now, if I want to record...
No. You have to take your converter there, plug it out.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I see what you've done. Yeah, that works, yeah.
So if we do this, and we go...
So now you get HDMI from your computer, and you're going to capture.
So I'm converting taking from the HPIL to the converter to HDMI to the HDMI capture card into the Mac, and if I do new movie recording, not that, that's me.
Is that what you were trying to do?
The camera? Yeah. I've lost it. Oh, I told you this could go all horribly wrong.
I think you connected wrong.
I've connected wrong. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's good.
No, it's good.
No, it's correct.
Correct, yes.
The logic's right.
You need to replug the USB capture card after starting.
Thank you. Oh, is it down there? Yeah.
Maybe.
It's there, isn't it? There we go.
Or change the
USB
source of the
video.
USB capture card. There you go.
And
Got it.
now,
Well done.
so
Right.
now we've got a window
Nice.
of the HP41 screen, which we can now record. So not only can I project onto a projector, but I can record what I'm doing on my HP41 through its HPIL interface, which is pretty cool, isn't it? So and the capture card, that little capture card on the USB, £19 off Amazon. So for a princely sum of what, £27, I've got capability to both display on a projector or a TV and record it on my computer.
What games do you play in your 41?
We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so you'll notice this is the output of DIR. So this is one of my discs. That's the contents of the disc are being shown there. Some of you may have seen one of these before. Have you seen one of these? This is Jean-Francois Garnier's pillbox. So on this end we've got HPIL, and on that end we had mini USB, which then I've gone through dongle hell again and eventually got USB-C on those. I don't think Jean-Francois is making those anymore, but a guy in the Czech Republic called Karel Kochi has done a new version which is has actually got, now this might be brave, but I might not take them out, but it's got HPIL plugs which he's manufactured in a 3D printed case with a, I think, slightly updated version of Jean-Francois' circuit board in it with a USB-C. So now I've got an HP41 connected over HPIL to my computer over using Pi ILPA, using HPIL, and in here, that is my virtual disk with these files on. Sorry, I've obscured them. So this is emulating HPIL on the Mac. It also runs on other operating systems. And then that's it. You can see the contents of it on the HP41. So I can have virtual images which we can share and pass around on the internet, which is a very 2025 thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we haven't got to worry about passing tapes or barcodes or whatever and all that sort of stuff.
So you actually sharing effectively the ROM image.
That's a directory image of my virtual tape. Yeah, so it's a virtual HP 82161A.
Right, so it's a serial tape. Okay, fine.
It's the digital tape.
Digital tape.
It can simulate the 9114 disk drive as well, floppy disk drive. So I can use the same thing, well, with the 71 or with an HP Portable Plus. I do it with. It will cope with all of those. There are a whole load of devices up here, so I can, for example, I can set up a printer, I can set up a terminal, I can set up a plotter, I can have multiple disk drives, just like you can on HPIL, and I have scope, so when I'm running a command, so if I turn it on, you'll see a bit of chat, and then if I do a directory command, you'll see it printing on the original TV interface there, but you'll also see the scope, all of the packets going around the HPIL. Which is quite handy.
That's very impressive.
And that's plugging it over HPIL to USB-C. Now then, the various ROMs are becoming really very difficult to get hold of for the HP41. Possibly the most difficult, I think, to find is the heat packs, isn't it? Which was famed in the time for its level of functionality, and there's a guy called Diego Diaz who makes these. These have been in production for a few years now. This is a NOV64D. I did write about these in Datafile a while ago, but that in there has got, I think that one's got 64K of ROM-ish, RAM-ish sort of thing, QROM type stuff. So I can plug that in, and effectively I've got all of the ROM ports can be filled up. It does bank switching and all of that sort of stuff on this machine here. If I do cat2, nope, that didn't work. Hold on. Ooh. So if you see cat2 over here. So in that, this is a CX. So it's got time, CX time, but I've got the printer plugged in, mass storage control, and then I've got my play ROM, games ROM, my debugger, the Aramco MLDL, the David assembler, the labels for the entire operating system, extended functions, and all of that sort of thing. So you can do that. If I whip that one out and plug this one in. This one, I think, has got the HPCC and the HPCC RAM in it. Yeah, there we go. So we've got the HPCC, and if I do, come on. If I do HepDear, I haven't got anything in there, but I've got 2,600 registers of HPCC memory that I can store programs to and from, and it's non-volatile, so I can unplug it and the contents are maintained and all of that sort of stuff. So all of those hard to get hold of things that we had back in the day, the MLDLs and all of that sort of stuff, it's now available on a chip that occupies a single socket. Now, the guys that are producing these have great respect for what they've managed to put inside a chip, but it's not quite as power efficient as the chips that HP make. So this calculator draws, with one of these chips in, draws a bit more power than the originals. If you just had a CV, or you had a CV with extended functions and time and all that sort of stuff, you would expect the battery to last for months. If I plug in one of these, it doesn't last as long. So Diego, who made the ROMs, has come up with another handy solution, which sort of relates a bit to Chris's talk this morning, in that in here I have an 82120, which Tony would instantly recognise as a rechargeable battery pack, but this is revision D, and if I pop it out, you'll see that what it's got in it is a lithium-ion battery. And like you said this morning, if I plug that in there, and then plug a USB-C into the socket, and it fits through the socket as long as you've not got a massive connector, you will see a blue LED while it's red LED while it's charging, and a blue one when it has charged. So we've now got a machine which has locked up, which has got rechargeable capability. So we can just plug in the USB-C charger to charge it up, and you're not going through USB through what are they called? What are the cells? N, aren't they? Yeah. N cells, which are getting increasingly difficult to purchase, aren't they? So, so you can use that. It is a tad expensive, surprisingly expensive.
How expensive?
A bit like Stella Artois. I'll come to that in a moment. I think it. Well, let's see. 120 euros. So the chip, the NOV64, is 175 euros plus £40 for a 40 euros for a programmer. So it's not bargain basement. But on the other hand, if you had to get a load of rare modules, you could easily spend that amount of money. So we'll come back to this in a moment. So we can now connect our HP41 to our PC or Mac using USB-C, and we can also charge it using USB-C. And actually, Diego brought out the USB-C charging pack before Apple used USB-C connectors on their phones. So the HP41 was a bit of a trailblazer in that respect, wasn't it? Okay. Now, this next one, what I have here, let's disconnect this one. Let's go back to my board. Okay. So this time, what I've got, this is a CV, and what I've got here is our Monty Dalrymple, who makes HP41 CL boards, which are a replacement microprocessor that will run 50 times normal speed and load every ROM that has ever been written into them and all that sort of stuff. He's produced this, which is yet again in a standard module case, and this has got RAM in it. Okay, so unlike that one, the NOV, that's non-volatile. This one is absolutely volatile. So I've just wiped it by removing it from the calculator. This is the max module. The good thing about this is if I plug this into a CV, oh, it's going to come up, and I'm just going to reset it, clear the memory. Any minute now. Right, here we go. So this is a CV, and I've plugged in one chip into this. I've not loaded any software onto it yet, but if I go into Catalog 2, unfortunately you're going to have to wait for this to scroll through, but you'll see it's got the time module in it. So what the max module does is it looks at the machine that it's plugged into. If it's plugged into a 41C, then it will give it full memory. If it's plugged into a 41C or CV, it will give it extended functions and extended functions memory. It will give it the time module, if you haven't got a time module plugged in, and it will give it effectively the same, the Y memory that Monty introduced on the 41CL. So in the same way that X memory is not part of the main memory, it's an extra thing, Y memory is another extra thing, and you can have, I think it's 3 banks of 1,000 registers. So you can store a massive amount of information inside.
But it's volatile.
But it's volatile, so as soon as you unplug it, it's gone. Yeah. But
when you turn the calculator off, sorry to interrupt, when you turn your calculator off, it keeps it preserved in memory.
Oh yeah, it's preserved, but it uses power to do that.
Got it.
So hence, if you put normal N cells in, it's going to eat them pretty quickly.
Yeah, sure.
If you buy one of the rechargeable batteries, then they last a bit longer. Yeah. So I've got a clean machine here. It's got nothing apart from what the max module has done, which is add. So a CV's already got full memory, but it's now added the time module and the extended functions module. So if I do, I'm old school, you see, if I do EMDIR, it's empty, and I've got 600 registers free. So not only is it an extended functions module, but it's 2 extended memory modules as well. And then it's got 3 lots of 1,000 registers as well in Y memory. So it's a bit of a beast now. In terms of, if you combine these things, so if you take the pillbox, which is actually remarkably affordable, I would say, take the pillbox. So I've now got on here, in my drive, I've got a load of ROM images, and I've got a HP41 program. So let me see if I can get this. So here's my little program gone into the 41, and if I do, I can do all the usual things, like I can print its contents. So there's my program, and what this is going to do is it's going to load the David assembler, the labels, and the XenROM. So if I run that, and this is just to demonstrate that losing the RAM is not, the end of the world. It's relatively straightforward. Oh, it's in trace. Never mind. That'll be interesting. So it's now going to do that, and then you'll see 4K of ROM image going in for each of those, for the David assembler and all the rest of it. Yeah. So it's now loading up all of that, and we'll leave it to do that. But that was basically what I was going to cover. So we've got a way of connecting the 41 to an HDMI, a way of connecting the 41 to an interface to a mechanism to record it at high resolution, a way of connecting it to the 41 to virtual disks, and a way to run Q-ROMs that went out of production in the 1980s. So that was it.
Very impressive.